In this video, you will learn how to build a content repurposer with Google's AI Studio. Watch over my shoulder as I build out every step of the app right now. Let's hop in. So today we're going to create an AI content repurposer, and what it will do is it will take long form content, blog posts, podcasts, and it will automatically generate social media posts, email newsletters, and short form content variations. Users can paste in their content, the AI analyzes and then creates variations optimized for different platforms. Okay, so let's put some text into Gemini inside of Google AI Studio. If you've never used Google AI Studio before, you can simply go to aistudio.google.com/apps, and it will then take you in. You'll have to log in to your Gmail account in order to use it. And if you're using it for free, then you'll get a certain amount of credits in which to code your app, after which you will either have to wait for those credits to renew, or you can pay an ongoing fee based upon how many times you've used the quote. So it's not a set fee, it's a fee for content usage. So as you use it, you will pay more for it. Okay, so let's continue. If we hit the build button, AI Studio is now going to go away and think about what it's doing. And as you'll see over on the left hand side, it's using Gemini 3 Pro model, which of course is the best model that's out on general release. We will sit and wait for it to create the first draft of our new app, and let's see what it looks like once it's produced it. In the background, it's producing all the different files to make it run. The index.html file will be the front end page that you'll see, which will appear in this window on the right hand side, and then all of these other TS files, which are TypeScript files, are the back end files which are being created in order to hold all the functionality for the app itself. If you want to, and once it's published, you can hit the full screen button and then your app will open up in full screen. But what I like to do is I like to just leave everything as it stands, and then we can make amends as we go through. Okay, so here it is. It's decided to call it repurpose.ai. I'm sure that as a website has probably already been taken. We can change the name at any time, so that's not a problem. And content input, paste your blog post, transcript, or rough notes below. Now, actually, I don't have a blog post, so I'm going to just ask it to produce a blog post for us and see what it does. I have no idea what this app's going to do, by the way. I've not tested this before. This is the first time you're seeing it live as I'm seeing it live. I've put in a very general prompt here. It's come up with an idea, and we're just going to test it, and then we can change as we go. Okay, so let's create a blog post about, let's just say, create a blog post about typography in magazine design. Let's say magazine design. Let's see what it comes back with. It might just not be able to come up with anything. We'll see what it does. Say we're going to publish this on LinkedIn. I like what it's done here. So it's done interestingly. It would be interesting to see what it would do for Instagram. So let's put that down as well. And then you can say it's either professional, casual, witty, urgent, or educational. So I like the fact that you can choose your tone of voice. You could probably also specify a tone of voice here if you wanted to. Okay, wow. So it's created something. Typography is the silent architect of magazine design, and so on. So it's done a short post for us, but for Instagram you probably need visuals and sort of more headline text that would run in order to make that work. So as a first draft, it's not bad. It's done okay. What we should do now is we should iterate a little bit and see what we can come up with. So I want it to add a preview, so to show us what it might look like in Instagram or wherever it happens to be. So let's just say over in the left hand side, add a preview function that allows the user to preview what their host would look like in the right environment. Add a button at the bottom of each generated variation that will allow the user to click through to the spoof preview. So up here, I'm just going to put allows the user to view a spoof preview. Okay, let's just see what it does. And so the idea here is that what we do is we iterate very slowly, one thing at a time. You can put a bullet list in, or a numbered list in. And actually, if you are very succinct in what you're requesting, you're spending less money. If you put a generalized change in there and you put 5 or 10 different things for it to change, it's going to take way longer, spend more credits, and you might find that you're wasting money rather than just iterating slowly. I'm going to speed it up here, just so that we don't waste any time as you're viewing this, and then we'll come back once it's complete. All right, what you'll see over on the left-hand side is it then does a summary of what it's done. So, good. Looks like it's completed. Now, I guess if we were to produce a more detailed blog post, it would obviously create more detailed and more succinct copy. But for now, we're just going to do the same thing. And again, we're going to do it for LinkedIn and Instagram. Do a repurpose. Now, hopefully, once it's done these new inputs, yes, we have a preview post button. Okay, cool. Let's just see what it would look like. Preview not available on this platform. Okay, what we were hoping was that it would actually create a preview and sort of generally just mock it up. All right, so we'll iterate again. Let's just select it. Well, we don't even have to select this. Let me just show you something, another feature that is available that a lot of people don't know about. Down here in the prompt window, you have a number of different items. One of them is the annotate app feature. So if you click on this button, it puts a toolbar along the bottom. And what you can do is you can actually select part of the page or all of the page, and you can annotate. So what I'm doing is I clicked on this box here. It says add a rectangle, and I'll draw a rectangle over the area that I want to fixate about. I just add it to the chat button like that. Now I have to annotate over here myself. Clicking the preview button shows the message in the screenshot. The user needs to be able to see a preview that has been created by the app to look like the intended platform. Okay, let's see what it comes back with, see if it's able to make a difference here. Okay, we're back. As you can see, this took 140 seconds, so this wasn't a particularly quick fix, but let's see what it's come up with. So let's try again. All right, repurpose the content. Here is a preview of what the post would look like in LinkedIn. Let's see, Instagram. Yeah, so it's done a pretty good job. This is exactly how it would look. This is pretty good, not bad at all. I like that. I think it's done a very good job. I feel like we can get it to create imagery that kind of works. Again, this is not the best worded prompt, but let's see what it comes back with. And again, if we're not satisfied with it, we can just iterate. So we'll just do this. So what I like to do is just always read my prompts back through and make sure. Sometimes I read the prompt and I go, and I'll change some words. So add functionality that allows the user to click a button to generate an image or images based upon the content. The user should be able to prompt about the image if needed. If need be, they can choose the style of the image, Photoshop, photo illustration style, etc. Or they can leave it up to the app to create the image style for them. Fire. Let's see what it comes back with. Okay, so that's done it. So we'll paste in our prompt again, and we'll use the same two platforms that we used previously. Let's repurpose the content. Let's just preview it now without the image. Very good, very good. Okay, so let's generate an image for LinkedIn. And that's good. It's automatically created a prompt inside a visual representation of, and then whatever it was that we said. So typography is a silent architecture of your brand's narrative. That's not exactly what we said, actually. But anyway, let's just change it then. So, and good. So we're going to do that and hit the generate image button. Let's see what it does. Ooh, look. Isn't that lovely? Let's just see if it added it to the preview. It doesn't add it to the preview. That's interesting. Okay, let's generate one for Instagram and see if it adds that into the preview. Okay, oh, that's a better prompt. Let's leave that as it is. And since it is Instagram, let's do cinematic and dramatic in order to capture more eyeballs. Okay. Now I'm finding I can't scroll here, so that's interesting. Okay. That's a bit annoying. Well, it's obviously created something which we can't really look at. Let's just add a little caveat here. So if the user generates an image with the post, add that image into the post preview. Let's see what it does. And so you can see that this whole process is not complicated. It just means that you have to really think through all the different features that you would like within your application and try to be as nuanced as possible as you make your iterations. Sometimes the iterations work the way you want them to, sometimes they don't. The good thing about all of this is that if you don't like what you see and you can't get it to produce what you want straight away, grayed out here, you'll see a restore button. After it's finished creating, this restore button will be visible, and if you click it, as it says, will restore the code to the previous chat point, and you can go all the way back as far as you need throughout all of the iterations that you've done within your app, right back to the beginning. So take it back to a previous version and then just reiterate what it is that you need. So let's forget LinkedIn for the moment. Let's create one for Instagram. Let's create content about the importance of typography. Magazine layout is a really boring subject, but it gives us an idea of what's possible and, you know, exactly how it might be able to ham these things up and make them more interesting. Let's take a preview without the image created. And now let's generate the image. Let's go with a digital illustration this time. Generate. It looks okay. Let's just preview. And of course, yeah, it's inserted it, no problem. Okay, let's try a TikTok script. Okay, so this is really interesting. So for TikTok, what it's done is it's broken it down almost into a play-by-play for a animated sequence or a short film sequence. So maybe what we could do for TikTok is maybe we should get it to generate a video based upon the text that's been created. For TikTok only, give the user the option to create a short video, build this video from the generated content, and allow the user to preview as if using TikTok platform. Okay, so let's do that. Just put when they hit the preview button. Let's just see what it comes back with. Okay, so now it's done that. Let's just give it a test. Just put that in. Now, unless I'm missing something, it hasn't actually done what we want it to do. And send that prompt. So hopefully now what it will do is it will review what it's done and correct its mistake. Let's go TikTok script, paste in our idea, hit the repurpose button. Let's see what it comes back with. Okay, all right. Generate video, creating video, how exciting. Okay, so it's generated a video, but the video is, well, there's a number of things wrong with the video. Number one being that a lot of the words are completely misspelled. And number two is when I hit preview, it's not showing up in the preview window. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just ask it to iterate this. So the iteration will be use the content generated for TikTok script as the default text in the generate video function prompt. Try and get this right so that we don't end up confusing the thing. Fire and forget. All right. Moment of truth. Let's see. Paste in our article. Hit the repurpose button. Now let's generate a video. Oh, good. And so now it's posted in the scene. Let's generate the video. Let's see what happens. While it's generating this video, we don't really have to include the ability to allow it to generate video. Creating and generating videos, especially in the latest model of VO, is quite intensive and costly. So, especially if the video that it produces isn't quite up to the mark, you could actually be wasting quite a lot of funds. But it's an interesting idea. Let's just see what it looks like.
Typography is more than just a choice of font. It is the silent architecture of editorial design. First, we analyze hierarchy.
Okay, and so again, it's not done a very good job. The preview button is broken. Let's just remove the video function. So I'll show you now the restore. And we're going to restore the content back to that particular post. So now if we do TikTok, now all it should do is generate the image, so that's fine. So we're back to where we were with generating images for TikTok. And I think what we should do is we should change it now. So rather than create a scene, it should just write some text. We're going to fire that off, and then this way we're also taking out the need for the user to have to generate a video. Okay, so let's go back to TikTok, turn off the others, paste in our content, repurpose the video, repurpose the text. Okay, very good indeed. Excellent. Now the preview's not working. I'll just say fix the preview TikTok. Okay, so that's done. Let's go back to TikTok. Let's post in the headline. I don't know, let's just make it witty. I mean, TikTok's all about being witty, right? Let's hit the preview. It's still not working. If your magazine looks like a ransom note, we need to talk. That's funny. We'll just let AI do its own thing here. Let's see what it comes back with. Okay, so I like that actual. I like that actual image. That is actually very funny. Anyway, moving on. Let's just say preview is not working. Preview for TikTok is not working. Now you might be looking at this and saying, hang on a minute, it does say that this was built for personal finance and tech creators. The fact that it actually works for artists and artistic industries, I think that's a good thing. All right, let's go back to TikTok. Let's paste in our article. Again, we shall make it a witty one. Again, it's come up with another witty headline. Stop letting your fonts ruin your street cred. I'm just going to let it do auto again. Let's see what it does this time. Okay, so now it's actually produced what actually is a very, very good. I like it. It's a good preview. It shows you what it would look like. I think that works really well. I think that's absolutely brilliant. Happy with that. Okay, I think we should probably test something like the newsletter. So let's just see what it does for that. Your choice of Comic Sans is why we can't have nice things. Interesting. Let's generate an image. Anyway, so let's do a preview. Yeah. Okay, that's just like you were about to send an email. Looks pretty good. Working fine. That's no issue. Facebook. Generate an image. That's actually pretty good. And then also let's try medium. Typography terror. Okay, preview. Yep. Perfect. So we've got them all working. The only one we haven't tested is X. Quite cool. Done a comparison here. And let's do a preview. Yeah, works perfect. There's one thing that I definitely want to add. Earlier, there was no way of scrolling down once an image was generated. So I'm going to ask it to add a scroll bar to the app if content goes below the fold. Okay, good. So we'll just add 3 of them in. Let's just see what happens. Right, so that's all working. That's nice and it's fine. The only other thing I want to do is let's see if we can change the logo. This isn't something I've tried before, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. Let's change the logo to reflect the purpose of the app a bit better. Make the logo more journalistic and maybe utilize the type styles of the social media platforms the app is creating content for. Let's see what it does. Okay, well, it's changed it. I mean, okay. Just show the repurpose.ai text as it is. Good. That's much better. I prefer that. It's easily recognizable as a brand, so that's all we need. Okay, I'm going to go across to Claude and ask it to write a blog post for me because I want to test what our repurpose.ai now does when we put in a large amount of text. I mean, people would use this app to take a blog post that they've created and rework it for each platform. So we'll see how it goes. Let's just copy that. And I'm going to do it one at a time so that we can focus on what's what. First of all, start with Twitter. So repurpose for that. And I like how for X, what it's done is it's broken them off into screens so you don't run out of characters. Let's go across to LinkedIn. Very nice. Instagram. Let's just do TikTok, and of course let's keep it witty. Cool. Works for me. And a newsletter. And so we can see now that, you could generate everything all in one go, but let's work with the platforms, and their strengths and weaknesses. Very good. I mean, it's taken the actual original post, and proceed it down into the correct form, which is great. Facebook. Very good. And medium again is probably educational or professional. So, and it's quick. It's knocking them through really quickly. There's one thing I would like to add. I've just noticed the word here, color. And of course, that's the American spelling. I think it's important that we give people the ability to post for different languages, including UK English and US English. So add functionality that allows the user to select the language for their country to include US English, UK English, Spanish, French, Italian, Russian, Chinese, Japanese. I almost forgot German. That's very important. Afrikaans. Well, we'll leave it as that. I think you could keep going if you wanted to. You could also do things like you could say and any other common languages in use around the world. Let's just leave it like that and then hit that. and let's see what it does. Hopefully it'll put a drop down box at the top or something. Well, we haven't specified, so it might even be that it's able to translate a content input into a languaged output. So we'll see what it does. This will be an interesting experiment for it. Okay, so yes, now we can output to different languages. Let's put it in here. The only other language that I'm really sort of familiar with is French, so let's do that. Okay, let's do a preview. Yeah, it looks good. It looks very good. That's clever. Let's choose Japanese. And now we have the ability to produce content within an app which is posted in one particular language and is then transformed and repurposed into many different languages for different social platforms, all at the press of a button, and it seems to work just fine. It will also have the ability to generate images to go along with that content. That also seems to be working very nicely. Now, going back to Claude, I've also asked that if I was to create an app that repurposed written content from post transcripts, rough notes and ideas into content for X, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, Facebook, email and Medium, and allowed the user to output in 15 of the world's most common languages, as well as generate images that could be used inside the posts, what would you consider a fair price for this service based upon real world data? And would it be best to charge monthly, one-off, or offer both as an option? And I just want to see what it comes back with. Okay. Your app combines several high-value features that justify premium pricing. Your unique value propositions are multi-platform repurposing, 15 language translations, AI image generation, multiple input formats. Okay, yep. So the recommended pricing structure would be to start at $39 to $49 a month, and that would give you 20 to 30 repurposed pieces per month, 5 languages, basic image generation at 10 to 15 images a month, 2 to 3 connected platforms. Then you could do a tier 2, £79 a month for all of those, and a tier 3 for agency, enterprise, unlimited repurposing, unlimited images, unlimited all languages, white label options, API access, multiple team members, £149 a month. And then it gives us a breakdown, a monthly versus annual pricing strategy. Strongly recommend offering both options. Here's why. Research shows that the most popular annual discount is 16.7%, which maps to a 2-month free offer. Approximately 42% of SaaS companies offer both monthly and annual subscriptions, and this flexibility significantly improves conversion rates. So monthly would be the full price, and annually a 15 to 20% discount. And then the example pricing would be £49 a month or $4.90 a year. That's 2 months free, etc., etc. And an additional recommend. So this is interesting. Add a free tier for a trial, 7 to 14 day free trial with no credit card, or a limited free tier to drive adoption. And then usage-based add-ons allow users to purchase additional credits for images or repurpose pieces if they exceed monthly limits. Display annual pricing prominently. Your pricing sweet spot appears to be £79 a month for the core professional tier, which aligns with the value you're providing, multi-platform translation and image generation, while remaining competitive with existing tools that offer fewer features. So there you go. That's really interesting in terms of the amount of money that can be earned for an app like this that we've just sat here and vibe coded in a short space of time. You could be earning $79 to $99 per month for it. It does break it down into tiers. I personally would prefer just to actually stick to the middle price bracket and then offer everything. You could set, a limit on the number of images that could be generated a month per person, and you could take it from there. I hope you've enjoyed the building of this app today. The aim is to show how simple it is to get started building your own apps. I'll build out the payment section of the app in the next video, and we'll create a subscription model, connect it to popular payment platforms, and test it. If you have app ideas yourself that you'd like to see me create, then drop a comment in this video. Also, if you found this process useful, please nudge the like button and subscribe if you wish to be notified when the next video drops. Thank you, and I hope to see you in the next video.